So we have some NBA rumors, which is good because the time between the All-Star game and then games picking up again is pretty dry. But some news around Aaron Gordon, the Orlando Magic power forward, who is going to be a restricted free agent after this season. And there are rumors about some teams being interested in him. The Dallas Mavericks, the Phoenix Suns, the Indiana Pacers are the three making headlines. I'm sure there would be more. The interesting thing with Gordon, and I think this warrants a discussion, is what is he actually worth? What will he actually get paid? Because typically NBA players get paid more than what they're actually worth. And then is there any chance that he is not on the Orlando Magic next season? Let's start with Aaron Gordon. A max contract for him would be about $25 million a season. Is he worth that? No. He's not that good. However, as we know, there are many max contract players in the NBA who are not actually worth their max contract. I mean, you can make the argument that there's really only, 12 to 16 players in the entire league who are worthy of getting that 25 or 30 plus $1 million, however long you've been in the NBA. But that's just the way the NBA is. It's overpay or you lose the guy. Would the Orlando Magic have to overpay for Aaron Gordon to keep him? I think there's a decent chance of that. Personally, I would say Gordon is worth about 12 to 15 million based on what he's done right now. But then I could even bump that up a little bit, seeing as you bank on potential, right? And because he's shown signs this season with his three-pointer, it's dipped down a little bit. It's down to 35%, where it was really high earlier in the season. But that's still pretty good. I think that's a really good sign that Gordon's shooting could be a real thing. And if his shooting is going to be that, and you play him at power forward and you don't BS him with moving him around because of Serge Ibaka being on your team and all that, then I think that he can only get better. Now, even then, do I think he's totally worth the $25 million? No, I wouldn't love giving it to him. Do I think the Magic would be willing to do it? I have to assume they would. I mean, it would take them over the salary cap for one season, because in 2019 they are right now at $84 million in the cap. That is before re-signing Gordon. If you re-signed him to that full $25 million, then we'll do the math because I don't feel like it, but it's over the salary cap. There's also Mario Hezonja, who I think is deserving of $5 to $6 million based on what he's been doing lately for them. So you'd have to deal with it for 2019, but then right after that, in 2020, you'd have Vucevic, Terrence Ross, Shelvin Mack. You'd have a few guys going off the books, which would make your job a little easier. Now, if you wanted to make any noise in this free agency, I mean, that's probably not going to happen for you. But you could look at getting a high draft pick as the thing to be excited about, more so than getting any sort of a free agent. Now, I have to assume that Orlando would be willing to keep him. Now, they do have a new general manager in John Hammond, so he was not the guy making some of those moves in the past. So he may see Aaron Gordon a little differently than other people in the organization because he doesn't have as much of a sentimental value towards Gordon. I think that is something to care about with this. But who the hell really knows with this stuff, given some of the moves we've seen lately in the NBA. But if we can just get to the other teams, would any of these teams offer Aaron Gordon a max deal? Given that you would have to take him away from the Magic and you would have to give him a contract that they would have to match, yeah, I think Phoenix, Dallas, and Indiana would all have to throw a max deal at Aaron Gordon. I think that's the only way the Magic would even potentially not match his contract. Unless I just really overestimate what teams think of Aaron Gordon. I mean, maybe they'd only have to offer him $17, $18 million a year, and that would scare off the Magic. I don't know. I'm not inside NBA general manager meetings. I don't know what they really see in the guy. Now, can those teams actually throw that money at him? Well, Indiana, potentially. If Thad Young declines his player option, which I highly doubt, I don't think he's making $13 million on the open market. Corey Joseph is probably not going to get $8 million on the open market. If they declined Lance Stevenson, which they probably shouldn't, If they declined Sabonis, which again they probably shouldn't, then I guess they'd be in the conversation for Aaron Gordon, but I don't see those things happening. The only other potential thing they could do was if they included, I don't know, if they made some sort of move to get off of Bogdanovich or Darren Collison's money, potentially both of their contracts, then they could be in play, but I don't really think Indiana is going to be in this thing. There's too many things need to happen for them to get the money right. Dallas has all the money in the world. Nerlens Noel is probably not going to be on the team next season. Dougie Fresh should be there, but it shouldn't be for too much money. And then, Seth Curry could potentially be on the team, but he's not going to warrant too much money either, and they're at about $70 million right now in cap, so they've got a bit to play with if they were going to throw a whole bunch of money at Aaron Gordon. And then the Phoenix Suns would not be able to throw a $25 million offer unless they got off of like Allen Williams' money or Jared Dudley's money, or they traded Jared Dudley for like someone who was on a cheaper contract. That's how they would get into the discussion here. But they also have to make a decision on Elfrid Payton as well. So basically, you could say that the only team who can really throw max money at Aaron Gordon is the Dallas Mavericks, at least among the teams that have been rumored so far. Because they don't have to make any real moves and they're already in there. Now, I guess the flip side, when we go back to Aaron Gordon here, is there a chance that he is not worth the max contract to the point where Orlando would just be content with him being gone? Well, we think about it like this. Number one, Mario Hezonja has been pretty good at the small ball four for them. And maybe there's some fear that he and Aaron Gordon could not coexist together. I think Gordon can play some center, but he definitely can't play there all the time because he's 6'10 or so. Like, yeah, dude can jump out of the gym and he's pretty damn strong, but I think night in and night out, given his abilities as a ball handler and the fact that his jump shot's coming along, I do think he's a better power forward than he is 5. But even so, I don't think Mario Hezonja has done enough in this month stretch to think, you know what, we're going to choose him over Aaron Gordon. I don't think that's the case. There could be some fear that Gordon and Jonathan Isaac could not fit in well enough together. I think Isaac is meant to play the power forward position and just be kind of like Marvin Williams is for the Hornets, but just a better version of Marvin Williams, defend all 5 positions and then contribute enough on offense, hopefully develop the outside shot and just be able to do enough offensively with the ball in his hands. But, defensively, I think Isaac can be really special. So, do you think that him at small forward would make it to where he can't give you almost anything on offense because he can't out-athletic opposing threes, and you are intrigued more by Jonathan Isaac than you are Aaron Gordon? I think a lot of this would depend on, is Gordon shooting legit? Because if his shooting is not for real, and we just look at his first couple of seasons, then I think you could start to enter the conversation of maybe he's really not worth that much money. Now, of course, he got screwed over in 2017 because Serge Ibaka was playing power forward and he got slid over to small forward. And then towards the latter half of the year when he went back to the 4, he was way better. But even then, was he a $25 million player? Was he showing the signs of that? Who knows? Maybe the Magic are just not as high on him as I guess I am. I personally believe that if you put Aaron Gordon at power forward, you don't mess with that at all. You have a decent enough amount of shooting around him. You have one ball handler who can actually shoot and force the defense to cover him in a pick and roll. And then you combine that with Aaron Gordon's ability to defend, which I think he has another level to get to as a defender, but he's shown some good signs. His ball handling, where he's been able to do stuff in transition. His playmaking has crept up a bit this season. Not necessarily. His assist percentage has been about the same his whole career. But I do think he has potential as a ball handler. And then the shooting. I think you combine all that, and I would do it, okay? I would throw the $25 million at him, and I wouldn't feel 100% comfortable with doing it, but what else am I going to do? Let the guy go and just become more of a joke? Like, we're already one of the worst teams in the league, So, that's what I think Orlando should do. Hang on to him, but I do think they're going to be getting some pressure here, and I do think you could find some people who think he might not be all the way worth that much money, but it's the NBA, and listen, sometimes dudes get max contracts even if they're not entirely deserving of it. So that's what I think could be happening with Aaron Gordon here. It'll be interesting, man. Not a lot of teams with cap space in this upcoming free agency, and the ones who do have cap space are kind of not that good. So, well, very not good, I should say, for some of these teams. So who knows what's going to happen. But yeah, that'll do it for this. Aaron Gordon, free agency, and I'm done.